What's up, Riverdalians? Welcome back to the River's Edge. I'm your host, Abby, and I'm here with my co host, Haley. And this week, we are going to talk about all of the parents of Riverdale.
Yeah, yippee!
Yippee!
I wanted to talk about the pets, but
Well,
we
that's in
played
the
rock, paper,
future.
scissors because they were both good.
Yeah, they were both good. Well, best out of three, and I won.
And you didn't
Somehow we did.
understand what best out of three meant
Hey,
two
don't
out
put me
of
on blast
three.
like that.
And
I
you
know
said,
what it
let's
means.
go again after you had just won, and I let
Well, I
down.
don't know. Maybe I was feeling nice. Maybe I was giving you another chance.
Oh, well, then it wouldn't be best out of three.
Well, then I would be bestie to you,
Oh,
being
okay.
nice. Yeah. But anyway,
Okay.
there's a lot of parents of Riverdale, and they sometimes can
Wow,
be.
there are!
Oh
Because there's
yeah.
two for each kid. Wow, what a great
Oh
big.
shit. Well, some
Whoa!
other shows. Hey, some other shows they don't always show the parents all the
I know, I
time.
know, I know.
Riverdale, they show sometimes a little too much of the parents. Most
Yeah.
what comes to mind is that really, really very unnecessary scene of Hiram and Hermione. If you
Mm.
know what I mean. Meanwhile, other shows like Dawson's Creek, they don't show Pacey's mother until like season 4, and he's one of the main characters. So, like,
Oh, and like Stranger
yeah.
Things, Steve
It's
doesn't
Stranger
have any
Things, like they don't
parents.
have any, like they don't give that, they don't even give them
Only the
any like
kids have
lore.
parents.
Only the kids
Yeah,
have
but they
parents.
don't
If
have.
you're over a certain age, you've lost parent privileges. Sorry, Steve
Mhm.
Harrington. Not really. Anyway, some of the Riverdale parents, they might not be perfect. But
Yeah.
all of them have certain qualities about them that make people like them.
Yeah.
Some more than others, which bears the question, and I know Haley's answer, but mine
Oh, but do you?
favorite Riverdale parents, and I'm gonna answer that. I'm
Oh,
gonna
but
answer
do you
my
know my
my
answer?
own question, and
You'll
then I'm
have to
gonna
tell
guess
me.
yours. I'm gonna guess yours.
Okay.
But mine, for me, I think my favorite of the mothers is Mary Andrews. I think she is great. She's phenomenal. We love Mary Andrews. We love Molly
Molly
Ringwald.
Ringwald.
Today,
Oh.
as we record this, it is the 26th of October, and it's actually the year anniversary of me meeting Molly Ringwald, which is pretty cool.
Aw,
And
cute.
yeah, that was pretty cool. And my favorite dad has to be FP Jones. FP Jones.
F.P.
I
Jones.
love him. I love FP Jones. I love Skeet. Skeet is so great. Skeet, please come on our podcast. But as a close second, hot take, I think he's such an interesting character. I'm not saying that he's a good person, but maybe I'm biased. But I like Hal Cooper. I think he's really an interesting
Oh,
character.
yeah.
He's an
Interesting
interesting
character,
character.
not
It
like a
doesn't
good
mean that you're like
parent.
defending, but
Yeah, it
this is
doesn't have to be a
simply
good.
on like my
Yeah.
personal opinion, not like, oh, I'm saying Hal Cooper's a great dad. Like
No.
before the
It's an
Black Hood
interesting
stuff,
character.
it's an interesting character. But my guess for you is Fred and Mary.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What did you
Why was
think I
I
was
like,
gonna say?
I thought that you were gonna say just Fred, and I was gonna have to be like, oh no, Mary though, too.
Well, I know you better than I guess you think I do.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say, well, but I didn't know you were doing both dad and mom. I thought you
No,
were
I
doing
said
like
my favorite mom and
definitively.
then favorite dad.
Okay, well, my favorite mom is Mary, my favorite dad is Fred. But I like, who else do I like? Well, I like Gladys and FP too.
Gladys, underrated.
Betty's parents are also interesting. They're interesting characters. Neither of them are good people. Alice pisses me off, even though she's kind of an interesting character, and Hal obviously is an interesting character, even though he's a murderer. Who else is interesting? Well, I think Hermione is kind of interesting too. I don't mind some of her plots, but it gets really annoying when they're like doing businessy things, and Hiram gets really old after a while. But on it, Fred and Mary, I gotta just say Fred and Mary.
That's a good answer. I feel like they are the best of the bunch.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
FP, one of the things that
He
I really
tries.
love, yeah, like one of the
Yeah.
things that I really love about FP, and I will always say this, that a lot of the characters, yes, they have like developments, but I think,
Mm-hmm.
in my personal opinion, at the very least, I think FP really had like the best of all of that. And he's the only one that I truly think had like a really good, happy ending. Like
Yeah.
the way that his story played out was very
Yeah.
satisfying. Like you see this guy who is not the best of fathers. He's an
Mhm.
alcoholic. He's, you know, a bit of a like deadbeat. Like they live in the trailer park. They don't, you know, he's doesn't have like a job or anything. He's not really the greatest father. Jughead's not living with him. But then he turns
Mhm.
his life around for his family and
Yeah.
he becomes a great guy, a great father. He becomes the sheriff of their town. And then when the time comes, he does the right thing. He leaves town with JB and he gets his happily ever after. Like,
Yeah.
maybe not in the way that a lot of people really wanted it, but I think that
Mhm.
as a fan of the character, that ending that he got after his story, very satisfying. And I think if they kept him
Mhm.
on, they would have lumped him in with the other adults in season 6. And if memory serves, they get beheaded. So, as a fan of FP, I have to say, I am satisfied with the way that his story ended. I'm satisfied with the
Mhm.
way that his story was played out. I think that if he had stuck around a little longer, they would have made him go right back
Yeah.
to the way that things were. And
Yeah,
if
they would
he
have persona
yeah,
reset him.
if he came back in season 7, they would have made him a deadbeat dad all over again.
Yeah.
I don't think they would have just given him, you know, a good storyline of him being a good guy. I
Like
think
a
they would have
yeah,
completely
or even
reset
like a
him.
single dad or something made of
Yeah,
like
they would have totally screwed him over again.
yeah,
So I think,
definitely.
you know, and all these people they were saying, "Oh, we want Skeet back for season 7. We want Skeet back for season 7." You won't meet anybody, I think, that is a bigger fan of Skeet Ulrich than I am. I mean,
Mhm.
I ran the update page for like 4 fucking years. And you will not meet anybody that likes Skeet Ulrich and is a bigger fan of Skeet Ulrich, knows
Mhm.
more about Skeet Ulrich movies, other than Skeet Ulrich himself, other than me, right?
Yeah.
You will not meet anybody, okay? I am happy with the way I think that his character had the best send off ending of all the characters. Like, he got out, lived his life, didn't get persona reset, didn't get involved in all the shit in season 6, and didn't get all messed up in season 7.
Adding on to your like extension of your explanation why FP is your favorite. I want to talk about the discrepancies of Mary's character. I feel like this is something I talk about a lot, but it just like okay, you said she's a great mom. I think yes, I think Archie's parents are the best, quote unquote, out of the bunch, like the best kind of like middle class like working family. Like they're the least crazy. They have like I mean Archie, I think he has like the most crazy stuff happen to him, but his parents don't have a lot of crazy stuff happen to them. The discrepancy between her character, like they persona reset her, I feel.
Yeah.
Like okay, I love her and she is a great mom. Like there are scenes that are really really like in season 4 especially when she's like with him because that's the only season that you really get her the whole time because she has to be with him, but so there are a lot of like really sweet moments between them and even in the earlier seasons too, like there are a lot of really sweet moments and she's very I kind of look up to her. I want to be a lawyer. So she's a lawyer, so she's kind of like girl boss. In season 4, when Archie like is like starving himself and he like does the 2 boxing matches in a day or whatever, and then he like passes out and she was like gonna go back to Chicago and she's like, I'm going back to Chicago and I'm leaving you alone. You're gonna leave him alone? You're gonna move back to Chicago and leave him alone. And he's like 17 years old and his dad just died and you're gonna leave him alone and you're gonna move back to Chicago. It was just a failing in the writing. It doesn't make any sense. Why would she ever do that? And then she was like, actually, never mind, I'm not. But just the fact that she was going to leave him alone after what had
Yeah.
just happened. And I was able to articulate it a lot more thoughtfully before. I was be like, he's like very clearly mentally unstable and he's going to go to great lengths to hurt himself because of that. Like he's at risk of hurting himself and hurting others, like physically and mentally and in any other way he's very emotionally unstable, and you're going to leave him alone again after that. So you leave and come back sporadically, and then leave, and then come back for good, and then you're gonna leave him again. Like and she clearly has a lot of like love for him, you can tell, but there is that like underlying feeling that like
Agreed.
he is not what she wanted kind of thing, which is kind of sad. It's like kind of like I didn't want a kid kind of thing, almost like she got kind of baby trapped, and so she feels kind of like her potential was lost because she had a kid, and now she has to like take care and serve the kid, and she thinks that because he's physically mature that he's mentally mature, and that's a theme throughout the whole show with Archie. They think because he's physically mature that he's mentally mature, and I think that it goes back to literally the first episode, the character description. He got fit over the summer and now he has to deal with people's prying eyes kind of thing because they think that he's bigger and than he is, and they think that he's more mentally like sound than he is because he's physically fit. Like it because he's big and strong, and like they think that he's like capable of like surviving on his own. He is because he's like a teenager and he's like, but he shouldn't be. He shouldn't have to be alone, you know? I think that he's one of the characters that needs the most, like needs and craves the most like support and community. And that was like a big theme in season in the first episode of season 4. Like he deserves the people to be rallying around him because he has been rallying around them for so long, kind of thing. It makes me sad, and that part doesn't make any sense. And I love her, but that Miss Girl,
All very good points. I have to say I agree. You're totally right that after a certain point in season 4, when the need for the character kind of increased,
mm-hmm.
then absolutely there was a big shift. I don't think she was ever like a bad mother, but was she
No,
always a great mother?
no,
Probably not.
neglectful,
But
a little bit more
yeah,
neglectful than like outwardly like abuse. She was never outwardly abusive,
no.
but there was just the underlying feeling that like he wasn't what she wanted. And also the fact that he was the only kid, I think, tells a lot too, because I think he's one of the only characters that is an only child in the show.
Well,
So
Veronica
everybody
was
else
until,
yeah, but she's not because she got given a
yeah,
sister. So he's like the only one that's like actually like
for their youth though, for
yeah.
most of their
Well,
childhood.
yeah, but he's like the only one that's
But I get
actually
what you
like an
mean.
only child. And I think that says a lot. I don't know. I could talk about the whole family for a really long time, but this should be about all the parents, but I could just talk about that whole family for a long,
Yeah.
long time.
Next up, though, God, I have a lot to say about this. This might upset some people that are listening because for some reason there's a quite a big group of people that seem to enjoy
Oh,
this character. And listen, there's nothing wrong with enjoying a character. I just said that I enjoy the character of Hal Cooper, but I will not sit here and tell you, oh, Hal Cooper is a great man. Hal Cooper is a murderer. Just because I think the character's cool doesn't mean that I think he's a great person by any means. In real life, he's a great person, but we're not talking about real life. But anyway,
hmm
Alice. Oh my God. Let's not pretend that Alice Cooper or Alice Smith is a great mother because she's not. Because she's not.
hmm
She is absolutely not. And will I give her credit for sometimes doing the right thing? Sure. She is not a great mother, and this fandom likes to pretend that she is. I think the greatest example of that, I mean, season 3 was by far, that was her worst. Just by far was her worst. Giving away Betty's college fund. And then later on, they say, oh, well, she was undercover. And I think that was a plot hole. I don't think that she was originally supposed to be undercover.
No,
I
I
think
don't think
Charles was
so.
supposed to be dead, but then they're like, "Oh, we gotta do something," and so then they brought Charles back. And I just did the fucking the college fund thing is really just I that just pissed me off so bad. The whole thing with the farm was just horrible. She was gonna sell the house and then leave Betty with no place
Mhm.
to stay. And Betty's not even like my favorite character, but I think
Mhm.
when it comes to having the worst parents, I think
She
Alice
has
is
the
the
worst
worst.
parents.
I think
Yeah.
Alice is the worst mother.
Betty has the
Betty
worst
has the worst
parents.
parents. This is this will be our question for the week. Who do you think has worse parents, Veronica or Betty? People say, "Oh, well, Hiram was horrible."
Hiram's horrible, but he's not like horrible as a dad, I feel like, in the way
Yeah,
that like
I
Betty's parents are
mean,
horrible as parents, but Veronica's parents are just horrible people, I think.
yeah, yeah.
And
I
Hermione
mean,
is not as
I
bad as
agree.
like Alice. You can see how Hermione's kind of a bit tortured too. And
Yeah,
I guess you can kind of see, oh, Alice is a little bit tortured too, but Hermione isn't explicitly cold to Veronica at all times like Alice is to Betty.
I mean,
Yeah.
I was actually having this conversation the other day, and I was like, Alice is the worst parent. And the argument back was always, no, Hiram. Hiram was the worst. Was Hiram a great dad, a great man? Hiram was
No.
not. His reaction to somebody hurting Veronica was to beat the guy up. Somebody hurts Veronica, like they're gonna pay. Like Nick St. Clair hurt Veronica, like he's gonna pay. Like you
Hmm.
fucked his daughter, like you have fucked up.
He's more of just a
Clearly.
bad person
Yeah, he's more
than
of
a
a bad
bad
person.
parent. I mean, I'd classify him as a bad parent in the whole thing with Archie because he's like manipulating his daughter's like
Yeah,
boyfriend. Like that's like a bad parent move, but that's also just a bad person move because you're
yeah,
manipulating a little boy who's set up to be easily manipulated.
yeah. I mean, I don't think that Hiram was the greatest father, of course not, but I think that he is surprisingly not the worst dad or not the worst parent
Mhm.
on the show. We'll
Yeah.
say parent. We'll use the blanket term. I think that easily has to go to Alice. I
Mhm.
mean,
Yeah.
and we talked about this on our last one. The fact that, and this is just going to be a throwaway. I don't really want to get super into this because I don't want to get like
Alice in
annoyed
this
at it.
last episode.
Alice in the last episode, the fact that she had a little segment about what happened to her, and Archie really did not have his little 70s moment. It's really, really not okay.
I know.
Like, even if they gave her one in favor of like Cheryl, Tony, like anybody else, like I would still be like, what?
Mhm.
Like, that makes no sense. It being Archie is just like nuts. But
I know.
speaking of mothers, how do you feel about Gladys?
Oh yeah, I said I like her. I think she's an interesting character. I don't think she's a good person either, but I think she really the whole drug thing. I mean, she was really trying to take what she could and get do the best she could for her family. And I think she did a good job at trying to keep it hidden from them, you know what I mean? Like Hiram was almost kind of out in the open. Like they knew that the money was
About his bad deeds, yeah.
like blood money, kind of thing. She really tried to keep it like under wraps. Like, I'm doing this for my family. I know I'm doing a bad thing. I know I am, but I'm doing it for my family. FP also did that too. He was like, I'm doing this for my family. And whenever he would do crimes for money, like, I'm doing this for Jughead and Jellybean, kind of like basically was what was going on. Like, Gladys was really she was doing bad things and it ended up hurting them more than helping them, but she was trying. So I don't think that she's the worst because it's about
That's
intentions.
true. I think you're right. She's a very interesting character. Was she the best mother? No. Could things have been done a lot differently?
Hmm.
Yes. But still,
Hmm.
I mean, drug dealer, liar,
Hmm.
overall kind of not the greatest person,
Hmm. Yeah.
still better than Alice Cooper. But we talked about both Alice and FP now, but we haven't addressed the elephant in the room, which is
Hmm.
them together. How do you feel
Yeah.
about that, Haley? I know how you feel, but let's tell our Riverdalians
What?
about Phallus.
Oh, ew. No, I don't like phallus. It's stupid. And people are like, Bughead are step siblings or Bughead are siblings. No, they're not because Bughead existed before phallus. It's
And
so
yeah, that's
stupid.
true.
They added it in season 3. Like they added it. It didn't it like wasn't a thing before. Like they had set up Hermione and Fred in the first episode. So that's like okay, whatever. That's one thing. And they also never got together like that. But they had set them up as a thing. That's like we should talk about that one person that that has siblings Varchi.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's somebody. Imagine they're listening. We're not saying this to shit on you, by the way. If you are listening to this, we're saying this because we're intrigued by you, or not by you. We're intrigued by your AU, your AU, not you. That's just really interesting because for a lot of people who watched Riverdale for a long time, the general consensus was, oh, Varchi have sex too much.
Yeah.
And now people are having AUs where they're siblings. So it's like, how did we go from everybody that didn't like them or, even didn't really care for them thinking, oh, they have sex too much, to now, oh, what if they were siblings? Like, what? I don't know. I just,
What if they were siblings?
what if they were siblings? I mean, but yeah, you said the people say about Bughead being siblings or step siblings. It's is it I listen, I love Bughead. I'm more of a Varchi now, but for years and years I was in the Bughead fandom. I was in the Bughead fandom when there was like the peak to be in the Bughead fandom.
Oh yeah, me too.
Like trust. I know. I know what I'm talking about here, guys. Is it a little eh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are they siblings?
No.
No. And the counter argument
It's
for
only a
this,
little because the show made it that way though. Like they
yeah.
literally they made it that way. Bughead existed before. They even said that they like Betty even said like I was dating Jughead first. Like
Like, and the counter argument for this, people say, oh, well, they dated in high school. And it's like, no, no, they didn't. No, 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 no,
mm-mm.
because hooking up. This is good. Shout out to my family listening to this. I'm very sorry, but hooking up is not the same as being in a
Yeah.
relationship.
And she also did with
It's
Fred, by
just
the way.
not.
And nobody
Yeah,
is saying that
no one is
Fred and
saying she dated
Alice
Fred
and
in
nobody is
high
saying
school.
Archie and Betty are siblings.
Yeah, like no one is saying that they're siblings. No one is saying they're related. And and then with Charles, we have to remember from the standpoint of the writers, really, like in their storyline, yes, technically Phallus would have been in high school, that all that with Charles would have happened before. But if we're thinking about from the
Mm-hmm.
standpoint of what was written and created and developed in 2017, that didn't happen
Mm-hmm.
yet. That didn't
Yeah.
happen. Like that came later. Like the Midnight Club and all of that and Phallus and Charles, that all came later. Like
Mm-hmm.
Bughead as a ship, as a concept, as them being together, that came
Mm-hmm.
before. Like Phallus and everything being created, that came later.
Yeah. It did.
So they could change the storyline, they could change the lore all they want, but it still won't change the fact that Bughead technically, in the real life, in our time, in it being developed as a TV show, as writing,
Existed first.
existed first. That's a fact. That is just the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Phallus, I don't know, it's not my cup of tea. If you like them,
No.
then go crazy and like them. But really,
I
they're
don't think
not my
anybody
thing.
does anymore. I actually don't think the people exist.
Not anymore because they hate Skeet because they were
Yeah.
like, fuck Skeet for not returning. It's like, no,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
no, no. Skeet, honestly, this is my hot take. If you're a fan of FP, you should,
It was a good thing that Skeet didn't
yeah, you
return.
should agree with me on that. Like, if you're a fan of Skeet, or you're a fan of FP, I should say, because personally, I'm so happy that he left when he did. Like,
Mhm.
just for the sake of the character. Like, I wouldn't be
Mhm.
saying that if it was like, I don't know, if it was Cole. Like, I would be so upset and annoyed if
Yeah.
he left. But a character, not to say that he's disposable, but a
But
character
like,
that's more like on the side, like, they could do whatever they want with those characters. Like they
uh-huh.
could do whatever they want with somebody like Uncle Frank or like
Uncle Frank.
FP or Tom Keller or I don't know, Reggie's dad. Like they could do whatever they
Oh
want
yeah.
with those
Mhm.
people. And FP, I think he deserves more than that as a character because I think that the way they wrote him and the way that like we see his life turn around, I think him leaving when he did was the best possible thing for the
Mhm.
character. Because like I said, if he was in season 6, they would have just completely erased everything. If he was in season 7, that erased everything in general. If he was in 7, they would have had him be a deadbeat again. So, I think
Yep.
that him leaving and everything happening the way that did, beautiful send off for
Mhm.
FP. I love it. I think it's great.
Yep. You mentioned Reggie's dad. I totally forgot about Reggie's dad. Oh my
Marty
God. This
Mantle.
goes Marty Mantle. Mantle Motors. I also love how literally all of the family's own businesses. I just think that that's beautiful. Andrews Construction, Mantle Motors, Lodge Industries. I really loved all
Gladys
that. I think
Strug Company.
it really all ties it together, I think. It's really beautiful. But because the show is about like the families that like built the town. Oh yeah, what I was gonna mention earlier, like all of the families, like their blood runs through the town because they have ancestors and ancestors upon ancestors. Like I think it's so interesting about how all the main characters are like it really helps in the personification of the town as a character through the show that all of the characters, their families were like the founding families of Riverdale. I think that that's a really interesting, like, cool thing that I like how they explored it, and it could have been done more and better. It could have been like I was gonna talk about the ancestors. I was gonna talk about like Asher Andrews and and Artie. I was gonna talk about Artie, Fred's dad, Artie. And then I was going to talk about Uncle Oscar and Uncle Frank. And nobody knows who Uncle Oscar is because he was mentioned to be dead by when Fred got shot. Archie said, Uncle Oscar's waiting for you. Uncle Oscar is apparently Fred's brother who died. And so a bunch of people on Tumblr who are my goats, by the way, they write the best Parentdale stuff ever. I think I've shouted them out before. Jughead Jones on AO3. And I don't know what the other one is, but there's these two people that they write stuff about Fred and FP like all the time, and they write stuff about Parentdale like all the time. And I love them so much because they come up with the most interesting ideas and it all makes sense the way that they put it together, like the missing pieces together. And they said Oscar he was Fred's brother who died in a car accident in like the 90s when he was like in his 20s. Oscar was older and he died in a car accident in his 20s. And that's so interesting to me because then they bring in Uncle Frank, but Uncle Frank was younger than Fred. So Fred could have had two brothers, which is so interesting. It's so interesting because like the like Andrew's men and then Archie is the only child. I don't know. Uncle Oscar and Artie, and we just know that Artie died, but then Artie was in World War II and a firefighter, and Artie Grandpa Artie, that which was also KJ Appa, and had red hair, but Fred didn't have red hair. And Uncle Frank doesn't have red hair either, but every other Andrews guy has red hair. But the red hair, he
So
has to carry the
interesting.
recessive gene of the red hair, though, for Archie to have gotten it because his mom has red hair. And so all of Fred's ancestors having red hair, he has to have the red hair gene recessively, which is how it was given to Archie. because then he got two copies of it from his mother and father. So that's how he got red hair.
Honorable mention though for one of the worst parents, or let's say mothers. One of the worst mothers, Penelope Blossom, masterminding the entire G&G. Uh, just
hmm
horrible. I mean, but I still think that Alice is kind of worse though. Because
Yeah.
Penelope wasn't as present as Alice. Like she
Yeah,
was doing
Alice was
stuff, she was being
present.
sneaky. And like, yeah, she was evil, of course. But Alice was like, I don't know.
Present.
I feel like they're both bad, but Penelope wasn't present and she wasn't, I don't know. I feel like Cheryl wasn't as like close with her mother as Betty
Uh-huh.
was.
Yeah.
Like it hurts more
Yeah.
when you're
She was
close.
close with Jason.
She was close with Jason. Yeah. I mean, Clifford also horrible father. Horrible,
hmm
horrible, horrible person, horrible father. The Blossoms
Yeah.
just bad people. Um, but I think overall, and I'm going to ask you this too, just
Okay.
like in general, and I want people to let us know this as well. Who do you think is the worst parent overall?
Well, we already did. We already said it was Alice.
Okay. That I just wanted it on the record. Like set, solid, in stone
It was
answer.
Alice.
It's
Well, because and
Alice.
people are gonna argue, oh, it's Hiram, oh, it's Hal, but they were not as bad parents as they were bad people.
Like
There's a
objectively
difference.
bad.
Like,
There is a difference.
yeah, like they were bad people in society, but they weren't horrible to Betty in the same way that Alice was. You know what I mean? And Penelope was also bad, but there are different factors that tie into it, like trust and closeness. Like I feel like Cheryl was always very weary of her parents, but Betty had her trust in them. You know what I mean? So there is a difference.
Yeah, 100%. And then there's some honorable mentions. Marty Mantle, Daryl Doyley,
Oh, Daryl
Mr. and
Dooley,
Mrs. Muggs, Tom
um,
Keller. I just
my
realized
goat.
something. This Fangs does not have parents.
Yeah,
Fangs does not have parents. Tony does
has a
not have
grandpa.
parents. Has a grandma.
Grandpa.
Oh, was she lived with her grandma Cookie Monster pajama pants girl?
What?
Are you kidding me?
Huh?
You don't know lives with her grandma Cookie Monster pajama pants girl?
No.
Oh my
This sounds
God.
like solo poly hijabi amputee.
No, it's a real thing. Lives with her grandma, pajama pants girl. She's like that girl in your school that like wants to fight everyone, who's like bad, like hot Cheeto girl, wants to like cause
And lives
trouble
with her grandma and wears
and lives with
pajama
her
pants.
grandma and wears Cookie Monster pajama pants to school.
Girl. Cookie Monster pajama pants girl.
Okay. I can't believe you didn't know what that
Mm,
is.
no.
Do they not have those where you are?
They do. I've heard of the joke of the Cookie Monster pajama pants girl, but I never heard lives with her grandma Cookie Monster pajama pants girl.
It's like it's part of the joke. Like the Cookie Monster pajama pants girl lives with her grandma
The
and
hot
is like
Cheetos
and eats hot Cheetos, lives in the trailer park
with her grandma.
with her grandma. But yeah, and then Tony has her what's it her great grandfather? He was also in Red Dead. He played not Eagle Flies. Why
Didn't
am
he die?
Yes, he just passed away. He played Rain's Fall. He was in my favorite game ever as Rain's Fall. And I
hmm
didn't even know that. But shout out to him.
hmm
Shout out to him. I feel like we're forgetting something. Oh, Kevin's mom,
Oh yeah.
who's only in
Oh, we're
season
forgetting, you
7.
know who we're forgetting? We're
Sierra
forgetting.
McCoy.
Oh, yes! Yes! We're forgetting her and we're forgetting Brooke.
Brooke. Well, Brooke isn't,
No,
I
she
don't
don't
know.
count. Mary Andrews always divorcing someone, but you know.
Mary
Um,
Andrews. Oh, I just realized she got divorced twice. Holy.
well, actually, she never got divorced from Fred, but the point still stands. But we can't I feel like somebody's gonna get mad that we didn't talk about Luke Perry's like death.
Well, what's there to like say. I feel like,
like
you
rip
know,
to him. Like I
yeah, I
like if
mean,
somebody doesn't is not involved in the fandom, they're gonna be like, why didn't you talk about it's
well,
like it's not like the elephant in the room. It's not like you tiptoe around it. It's just like you can talk about his life and about his character without always having to bring up, oh, he's dead, by the way.
I know. Yeah, you could bring him up without being like, "Oh yeah, by the
You can be like,
way."
oh yeah, I
Like,
love Fred. Oh yeah, he's dead,
yeah,
by the way.
yeah, I mean, I love Luke. I think he's so wonderful. I think everybody has the same views like that. I mean, I love him in 90210 as well.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I love him and Brenda. They're such a cute couple in that show. Dylan McKay and Brenda Walsh. Oh my God.
Shannon
You know,
Doherty.
yeah, Shannon Doherty.
Oh,
That
rip to her
just
too.
really, yeah, I mean, God. But yeah, I feel like you could talk about the character of Fred without bringing up him passing away because there is more to him than that, and we
Yeah,
shouldn't just limit ourselves to just talking about
for
his
real.
his death, which is
Exactly.
horrible, of course. But I feel like every Riverdale fan, that's like the one thing that everybody can kind of agree on is
Mm-hmm.
that his death was horrible. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, not only the character, of course, but the actor too. Like
Actor.
the person, Luke Perry, which so many people have so many great things to say about him. And obviously, we've never met him. We
Mm-hmm.
we don't know him, but we are admirers of his work.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, I guess that's
I
all
guess
we've got from
end on a
this time
low,
on.
end on a bit of a low note. End on a bit of a downer
Well,
there.
no, no, no. How about this? How about this? We'll end on this note. We have two questions. Who do you think has worse parents, Betty or Veronica? And who is your personal favorite of the Riverdale parents? Please let us know, because that would
In
be really
the
great
comments
in the
below.
comments. Also, follow us on Spotify, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, anywhere you're listening. If you could just take
TikTok.
2 little seconds just to do that for us, that would be really great. It really helps. And
Mm-hmm.
everybody says that, but truly we're a small podcast. We aren't like these big podcasts out there. We're just two girls who really love Riverdale who, not gonna lie to you, as fun as this is, it's very time consuming. Editing is a bitch. So if you could just take 2 little seconds
Mm-hmm.
to just click a little button and go about your day, truly would mean a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So would be really wonderful. So
Yep.
if you're listening on Spotify, follow us. If wherever you are listening or following, whatever, comment,
Mm-hmm.
please, would be so great. A little bit truly goes a long way. That saying is very
Mm-hmm.
true. A little bit goes a long way. So thank you. Please let us know the answers to our questions in the comments wherever you're listening.
Mm-hmm.
And we will see you next week, next Riverdale Wednesday. Bye bye.
Yeah.